I always thought I lived a normal life. At least, that's what I was told. A steady job, a small apartment in the city, a routine that could have been mistaken for comfort. But the strange events that began to unfold made me question everything. The world I knew, the life I led, and even the very fabric of reality itself. It all started on a Tuesday. A regular Tuesday. Or so I thought. I was walking home from work, the usual sounds of the bustling city surrounding me. Cars honked in the distance, people chatted idly as they passed, and the faint hum of streetlights flickered above. As I turned the corner to my street, something caught my eye, a flicker in the corner of my vision, like a glitch in a video game. I paused, but when I turned to look, everything seemed fine. Shrugging it off as tiredness, I went inside and sat at my desk. But the feeling lingered, a sense of wrongness, like I was being watched, like something wasn't quite right. I shook it off, telling myself it was stress. That night, when I tried to sleep, it happened again. The flicker. This time, it wasn't in the corner of my vision. It was in my dreams. I dreamt of a place that felt too real to be a dream. Dark, sterile corridors stretched endlessly in every direction, their cold metallic walls pulsating with an eerie green glow. Strange symbols were etched into the surfaces, glowing faintly. I wandered these halls aimlessly, my footsteps echoing through the silence. The air was thick with a sense of dread. My heart raced, but I couldn't stop moving forward. Suddenly a voice broke through the silence, a voice that wasn't my own. "Wake up!" I jerked awake, my heart pounding in my chest. I was drenched in sweat. The room was still, quiet, and normal. But the sense of unease lingered, creeping under my skin like a whisper in the back of my mind. The days that followed were strange. I would catch myself zoning out, my mind drifting in and out of focus. People would speak to me, but I wouldn't hear their words. I'd feel as though I was fading in and out of existence. And every time I tried to speak, there was this heavy, oppressive silence that followed me. Like I was the only one alive in a world that had forgotten me. One evening I decided to walk home a different route. I don't know why, I just had a feeling, an urge to do something different. As I turned the corner, I noticed something out of place. A door. I had never seen it before, despite walking this street every day for years. The door stood out like a sore thumb, old and weathered, with peeling paint and a brass handle that gleamed faintly in the dim light. Without thinking, I approached it. The handle turned easily in my grip, and the door creaked open. Inside, I found a room that shouldn't have existed. The walls were bare, the air stale and suffocating, and the only thing in the room was a chair in the center. But it wasn't an ordinary chair. It was a high-backed leather chair that seemed too modern for the room, too out of place. Compelled by a force I couldn't explain, I sat down. The chair was oddly comfortable, but as soon as I settled into it, the room seemed to close in on me. The walls flickered. It happened again. A glitch. But this time, the entire room seemed to distort, pulsing in and out of existence. The walls stretched, twisted, and then suddenly everything went black. When I opened my eyes, I wasn't in the room anymore. I was in the corridors, the same corridors from my dream, the dark, cold, metallic hallways. But now I could feel the weight of something sinister pressing down on me. The air smelled faintly of something burning. I turned to run, but something was wrong. The walls were closing in, the floor beneath me buckling. There was no escape. Panic seized my chest and my heart began to race. I didn't know what was happening, but I knew it was real. Too real. Then the voice came again. "Wake up." This time I didn't hesitate. I didn't know if I was asleep or awake, but I needed to leave. I bolted forward, my feet pounding against the metallic floors. The walls closed in, and I was trapped. I could feel something chasing me, something monstrous, something that didn't belong to this world. Suddenly, I was back in my apartment, gasping for air, drenched in sweat. My hands trembled as I tried to steady myself. Was it a dream? Was it real? I didn't know anymore. The line between reality and nightmare had blurred beyond recognition. I tried to shake it off, telling myself it was just stress, just my mind playing tricks. But the flickers kept coming, the glitches in my vision, the strange sensations that plagued me. I couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't. The next night it happened again. The door, the room, the chair. But this time when I sat in it, I didn't feel the pull of some strange force. Instead, I felt the weight of an unshakable presence pressing against me, suffocating me, pushing me to the brink of madness. Wake up! I tried, I fought against it, but it was too late. The room collapsed around me, the walls fracturing like glass. The corridors, cold, sterile, and never-ending, reappeared. I tried to run again, but this time I knew it was futile. I was trapped in a world that wasn't real, in a simulation that had me in its grasp. The glitches were more frequent now, the voices more insistent. I wasn't just experiencing a nightmare. I was living inside it. And then I saw it, the thing that had been chasing me. It wasn't human. It wasn't anything I recognized. Its body was a distorted amalgamation of shapes, a monstrous creature that didn't belong to any world, any dimension. Its eyes, black and endless, locked onto mine, and I froze in terror. "You can't escape," it said in a voice that was not its own, but 1,000 voices, all overlapping at once. "You are not real. You were never real." I tried to scream, but no sound came out. The creature advanced, its form shifting, bending in ways that defied physics. It was a nightmare made flesh, a terror from the deepest recesses of my mind. And then it struck. The pain was unimaginable, like every cell in my body was being torn apart. My vision blurred, my mind fractured under the weight of it. "Wake up!" I awoke in my apartment again, but this time something was different. The room felt wrong. I wasn't alone. The creature's presence lingered in the corner of my vision, its eyes following me, always just out of reach. The glitches were everywhere now, in everything. The walls flickered, the people around me distorted, and the ground beneath me seemed to shift. Reality itself had been infected. There was no escaping it anymore. I tried to tell myself it was just a nightmare, just a glitch in my mind, but deep down I knew the truth. I wasn't in control. I had never been. This world wasn't real, and the worst part, neither was I.